background. I apologize for the background. I know. Inventing things. So we went into a tech crunch today, and through software development in the next roughly 6 years with my company, basically we went through this. Okay, this is the daily. Okay, we went from the Lifeline. This is the Nokia 2G network private sector phone from back in the day. Yes, it is functional. It still works. It is foldable and it is cute. Okay, it only sends text and regular phone. Okay, these are private sector America. Private sector America does not allow for you to know their location when texting or calling. Okay, that means it's an A to B formula. Okay, that means I send you a message and you send me a message. There is not a legally allowed third party on the phone. That means your business is your goddamn business. Okay. This is the reason that Americans have started abandoning smartphones for these, because there was too much information in their businesses coming in and out. My business, okay, for the past 20 years, a portion of it was developing the networks for these guys. Okay. This is the smartphone. Okay. These things can be a joy and a nightmare. Okay. The joy of them is you can connect corporately to larger networks. Okay. The problem with a corporate is it's a corporate that you never know if the corporate will attempt to replace you in business by learning all of your business and simply replacing your chair. My business actually only operates off of this. I don't share my data with this. Okay. Never have. All of my data is copyrighted from its initial, and I mean, I break it down to a lot of my data is handwritten, like I'll actually do like the math and the formula. So that's actually original software coding writer. So it doesn't matter to me if this thing tries to steal my work. I don't care. I don't care in a corporate. I own the shit. So, and then also, you always have to own your masters. Okay. If your master's copies are the person who purchased the barcodes, or if you had to conglomerate them out, sell the barcodes, but that doesn't really matter. If you are the content, the barcode has to have your permission. Okay. But when in software development, I've always copywritten my own software. I have since officially like rewriting a TI-82 from God knows when, man. God knows when, these damn codes. So there's your differences in business, okay? These phones, you're probably going to fill a regular spot and work with other people. And these phones, you're in a direct line. I'm calling you and you are calling me back. I am texting you and you are texting me back. Okay, there's no third party going, hey, we want to get in between your business. There's none of that. So how do we make these, okay, work for everyone? So Microsoft launched this. Okay, this was today. This is 11/3/2023. at 1:15 p.m. via Trevor Tangy at the desk. Okay. My company, Tangy Productions, took out a loan for $350,000 to make sure that private sector and smartphone sector can work interchangeably in one device on Microsoft phone systems. Okay. The Nokia basin and the smartphone basin are being combined over the next 6 years in a software conglomerate based out of, we're going to go back to a different version of Windows that fits quite nicely. It will be faster. And the difference is I'm creating a mechanism on a phone, but then I have to troubleshoot the network for like the next 6 years. It will have hiccups. It will have snags. Nobody knows how hard that is to do, but the basics of the device are this. Okay? If you work for Microsoft, you'll be issued a phone that has a manual switch on the side. Okay? If you are working private sector, you pull the switch down and it's A to B, and that is all you get. Okay? It's private. It's not corporate. Okay? If you have to work with or for another company in troubleshooting, you move the switch and it can enact up to, I believe it'll be up to maybe 6G networks to pinpoint location. Those are businesses where you're working with topographical issues. That means tackling terrains, Google Earth, pizza delivery kids. You know what I mean? I know of a problem pretty large in 6G networks. It's kind of a network bug that I was kind of anticipating. It's like a Y2K bug. You know what I mean? It's like that one glitch that nobody caught. And I literally checked this. I wrote the software years ago. And I punched it in, and that's the only copy. Okay. This was called, back in the day, this was called an original bin injector. It just goes down to USB level. It's the basic bin insert, but the partition is changed. So I know all the way down past raw data, that's the one on Earth. So that's why I copyright my shit. But so that's my poor man's copyright. But I checked that against 14 million people couldn't figure that out. So that's not a bad thing in security. Okay. But my company is a private company. If you need to talk to me, you talk to me on an A to B. Normally, I talk to people in person about the business solutions for their networks. Okay. I have been a producer and inventor for longer than I can imagine. I build all that crap behind it, you know what I mean? It's all covered in dust and all sorts. I just mangle everything, every little product, every little product. But so brought to you in part by Credit Union One. You know what I mean? Sponsored in part by New Vision Credit Union. But like that's all it really is. I had to go down today and talk to Great Alaska Pizza Company. And it looked like he was starting to get a couple of drivers in there. And I just asked him, I was like, hey, you know, if I have to run troubleshoot the network and see how well that's going to work with these new devices coming in. These new devices should be here on approval of the deal from Nokia, from Microsoft. So if Nokia approves the 350,000, okay, from the Microsoft deal. The deal is, if you produce a smartphone, it has to have a back that can be removed, a battery that can be removed, and inset. That allows for a hard reset. That allows for no corporate passive monitoring or corporate espionage upon the phone. Also a switch that will turn to 2G, A to B. That's me to a single tower and back from a single tower. Okay, in any of these networks. So that means I'm only focal point to one. That means my phone call goes to their phone goes to my phone, and that is all. There's no third party listener. Then upon switching it up, then it goes to what you call a triangulated system. Okay, a triangulated system is where it is corporate, and the corporate resolve is this. Okay, you have 3 towers. You have one person in the middle of them. So the distance from this tower to that person, the distance from this tower to that person, and the distance from this tower to that person, then can pinpoint the accuracy of where that person stands upon the earth. Okay, it's called triangulating a signal. Okay, so upon that deal, if you strike a switch, okay, you have to send me these phones to be troubleshot. Okay, and the deal is $350,000 taxed out of private sector America through my company. And then it'll allow the 6G towers operational function in topographical sway and satellite function. When turning it down, okay, it is 2G network, talk and text only. Okay, so that way you can choose privacy in and out of your home on a passive or active monitoring system. After that, I know for a fact I have to troubleshoot the damn thing around the world for about 6 years. And there's no real option available on that. That is me. The reason being is because I saw over 45 different codecs with failed 6G network application. And those can be globally fatal. Okay, globally fatal. Okay, so that means not only could a 6G network with a bug, this is not like a Y2K bug, it's not like a Linux fix. Okay, if the repository were to be replicated at that level, like even recently, I've been on Windows for longer than you can imagine, and the problem is I literally took out the framework from 2015 to 2022. Okay, because it could crash pretty much not only Windows, but the problem with Windows is everyone's on Windows. Everyone's on Windows. Most standard operating system of all fucking time. And then the problem is Linux users are trying to bite off Windows and say that they made it. That's all I get all day. That's what these stupid ass things do. It's my job to inform though. So I don't really have like an issue with it. All my shit's copywritten. And then the other portion of it is from private sector America, they tell me, oh, don't talk about your business. I don't have an option. My business is your business. You know what I mean? This is the tech bench. This is not like stupid Manville. So the other portion is you have to deal with certain aspects of these things. Okay. Those are the chippy chip simmy sims. Okay. I was thinking in the modern sims, okay, these are just banded basic antennas. Okay, they're banded basic antennas. They conduct a certain frequency in a certain range, and then it depends on your phone number, pretty much. You know what I mean? Your phone number tells people this is me, and that's where I'm at. And then the other one tells people, you know, where it's going. So it's me, and where's it going? But the deal with Nokia from back in the day for private sector America is, I think, globally requested in America. So I'm just answering your global request. Okay. That's from Microsoft Tech Bench to you. The difference is it'll probably be just standard Nokia hardware, probably Samsung standard hardware, whatever. It's just hardware. It's just hardware. It will probably be in a slimline candy bar phone, probably a higher end, but yet more condensed screen. So the screen will be high quality, but probably a little bit smaller than this. This is the generic from Samsung. It will have an open back policy and also battery removal. This encompasses northern systems, southern systems. In the south, your battery overheats a lot, kills your phone pretty fast. If you leave it in a hot car overnight, $70, $80. And the problem is the new ones, they sealed the damn thing. So that's like $250 just to pull that shit off, not break the glass, put it back on, reseal the battery, pop out this little shit. I mean, I already know all these damn things. You know what I mean? So that's the new encompassed policy. Now the playwright to that feature is going to be what's it called? The playwright to that feature is going to be phone stores will have higher, like good, better, best batteries to sell. Okay, they'll have good, better, best. Probably have modifiable cases. Once again, we go back into the phone case realm. They're always there. But the unit will be pretty fucking standard for the most part. It's not going to be much different than pretty much this, other than it'll be capable, be more like a blue phone. The blue phones, it will have 2 SIM capability. So basically, one portion of the SIM can have one carrier, another SIM, second carrier, if you need to. A lot of people work in private sector by doing that, and they just simply turn off the corporate SIM. You know what I mean? That's what they do. It's like a pay-as-you-go, phone, and then the other one's just the smartphone with spam. You know what I mean? The news feed. You know what I mean? Part of my job is informing the public of the dangers of not having a private sector. Yeah. The dangers of not having a private sector is when it comes to your finances, okay, private sector, a patent's only as good as you can defend it. If you can have a foreign military literally come in, and let's say you're working on something that's tank parts or something, like a barrel of a tank, literally, for national defense, and that's just your job. You're just like, I just make barrels for tanks. You know what I mean? There is someone out there like that. Okay. The problem is a smartphone can go in there. Okay. By just being in somebody's pocket and passively record the location down to about 6 inches of where this dude randomly just, oh yeah, all I do is sit in this warehouse and make tank barrels. And upon just a child stumbling upon there not knowingly, now Hong Kong knows that. You know what I mean? And they go, oh, we have to start making the tank barrels, or whatever. They just start trying to compete heavily in an arms race. So these things, the problem is these kick up an arms race pretty quickly. Okay. These piss off private sector pretty goddamn thoroughly. I've never liked them, to be honest. I'm not really a fan of the goddamn things. I think they're more of a pain in the ass than anything. Government won't listen to that. That's why this is it's a private sale posted publicly from my company to the American people. Okay. I am the rep. I am the fucking owner. I don't answer to shit. So that's upon approval from Nokia. If you want the deal, it's 350,000 minimum. Okay. I want 350,000 units. Okay. In exact specification. Okay. You're just the hardware, Chunky. Okay. I'll do the software. And then you should have pretty much real easy time on a phone software based in Windows format. It'll be real intuitive, goddamn simple as shit. You know what I mean? Then you'll have Microsoft's app market. And Microsoft's app market has been kind of low GoPro for a long time. But the difference is Microsoft is probably the only company that will give you the option of being private sector and just being, hey, buddy, how's it going? Can I come over? Like a landline. And then everybody else just, you know, it's a differential switch for being an entrepreneur, private sector, you know, and just calling your mom. And then being a corporate, we got a boardroom meeting. You know what I mean? Pros and cons to this. The pros, okay, those are the pros. Okay. The cons, okay. That's the one thing about Microsoft I've never given a shit about them. I run a very selective department. Okay. What that department is none of your goddamn business. You know? This is just an easy way to say that. I'm just being honest. But I do a lot of stuff here. Okay. And that's why I know all these people's, I know everybody's business. Everybody's got it. That's why I know when it's time to say something, because you have to pull a plug before they break everything. In the past framework, 2015 through 2022, I literally got rid of the whole thing. C++ framework. I thought it was going completely wrong. I literally dumped all the files and then updated to the modern stuff today. So I went kind of like overboard and dumped the shell. I dumped this, in other words. That's basically like a corporate espionage trash can of shit that no one really needs. All of that shit, the AI, that fucking no one needs that shit. Yeah. That's just having them chase their tail for a bit. On the production side of things, when you're done with it, Nokia, let me see it. It's a basic hardware unit. You design that shit, ship it to my door. Okay. I'll load the OS and shit. I'll work with the drivers. I'll build the goddamn thing. I don't want no excuses. And then after that, I send the shit to production. Okay. That's the deal if you want it. Peace.